house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
We've got Bam in the control booth. Episode 240. This is college football, week 11, NFL week 10. Hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. I appreciate everybody who did it because we had more likes on the video last week than normal. Views are up because we keep winning in the NFL, and specifically on Thursday night, we're going to try to do it again. But I really do appreciate everybody who did that. Do it again for me if you don't mind. Couple things to dive into, recap another profitable week in the NFL, another just very on-brand week in college football with how it's gone for me. We're not losing a lot, but we're losing just a little bit that it's going to add up, so we got to turn it around. I don't know. I'm back to the drawing board, trying to figure out what's going wrong. How are you feeling?
Okay, we were kind of talking about it after we recorded last week where it's like, I don't know. Ohio State's obviously power rated number one in like everybody's thing, and they're rated number one. The college football ranking's actually going to come out right now as we record, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like when you look at it, I mean, who have they played that's that good? Other than Texas in the beginning of the year, but it was a 14-7 game. It's like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think there's also just not a lot of good teams. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are good teams, but I think there's nowhere near as many good teams as there was expected to be. You look at Penn State, LSU, Clemson, Florida. I'm sure there's a bunch that I'm not thinking of. Michigan's not as good as people were hoping with the offense. And I think the talent level kind of across the board is just kind of not spectacular right now. Who's third? A&M? No, they weren't expected to be. Not that they weren't expected to be a solid team, but third best in the country. I mean, obviously Indiana's two. Who do you know who's four off the top of your head?
Shit, no.
It just feels like
Georgia's around 5 or something.
But
like
even
that,
Georgia, and Bama, it's like even them though. It's nobody is the clear-cut dominant team. Although I will say, I think Ohio State is right now. Like I would definitely take Ohio State to win it all if I had to bet it right now. It just feels like this Georgia team has weaknesses, whereas in years past they didn't have as many. And Alabama, it seems they're good. There's certain spots like Missouri hung around, Vanderbilt hung around. It's not like people are blowing people out of the water, you know. So, I think we're gonna find out quick. That's the beauty of it, is where it's kind of all up for grabs. So, and you look at Miami, for example. Miami fell off. It was looking like the ACC could have a handful of teams, and then that went away fast. So, we'll see what the rankings look like when they come out. A couple things. Bam, we got to address Bam's softball season because he dropped a bomb on me last night. I'll set the table, and then I'll let Bam give his piece and see what he thinks. So do you remember before the season started, Bam asked if we wanted to play in a softball league? Mm-hmm. And I said, what day? And my answer was always going to be no. But and look, I got a bad neck. I have a bad back from time to time. I can't go out there and swing a fucking a bat, for one. But Bam said it's Sunday. Mind you, this is like 2 weeks before the NFL season starts. So immediately it was no. Definitely not. Bam went on to play 10-plus weeks of a men's softball league where they didn't even drink, just for the love of the game. 10-plus weeks, every NFL Sunday. They won 0 games, and Bam hit 0 home runs. So Bam wasted the first 10 weeks of the NFL season to go hit bloopers and lose every single game. And I am blown away because Bam set the table with, we got to play softball. It's so fucking fun. I hit dingers in St. Louis. So what happened? What went wrong? And do you feel like it was a complete waste of time?
There must be, something about the humidity down here that just doesn't let the ball fly how it's supposed to.
Yeah, you would think the ball would be jumping off the bat when it's not cold like it is in St. Louis, but sure.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you regret your decision?
Yes and no. I'm glad we got out there because I do like playing softball, but when you're playing teams that have been out there for 10-plus years and they all just hit the spots and we ground out and pop out and get maybe like one or two people on base every inning and then get out.
So it was brought.
It just takes a little toll on you.
It was brought. Yeah, his mental. He's going back for the afternoon games for the NFL. He just doesn't have it in him because they're getting beat. They're getting run ruled in slow pitch softball. It was brought to my attention that Bam had to be pulled off the mound after he was walking the bases loaded in slow pitch softball.
Dude, Reed's such a liar.
So that's not correct.
That is not correct.
Okay.
How did Alec play?
Because Alec. Dude, let me pitch, dude.
No, he's saying.
Yeah, how did he play though?
He wasn't there when Bam last night told me he let Alec get on the mound. That was just me and him talking. He just acted like you were there in that conversation in the room with us, in spirit, I guess.
Alec did pretty good, but Alec thinks he's like Jeter.
He kept getting jammed.
But
But Alec plays shortstop with a first base mitt.
They're like the Bad News Bears.
We really are.
So what went wrong? Who was the worst player? Put a stamp on it.
I'm not going to name drop anybody.
Come on, give his initials. No, but seriously. So do you regret your decision? Do you wish you didn't play?
No, I'm glad I played, but it definitely set the bar going forward that I probably won't play during football season again.
So why are you unable to hit home runs? Because if you look at Bam's a power hitter, but then he's going up there and he's hitting circle on the controller. He's hitting for contact.
I don't know.
He's trying to find a gap in the infield.
Hey.
Did you ground out a lot?
Not really.
What do you think your percentage was?
Probably 700.
What?
600.
I don't know softball percentages. I guess it's clearly not.
Base.
It's not baseball.
Yeah,
it's
if you don't
pitch.
get a hit like you did,
I was getting on base 6 to 7 out of 10 times.
How many times did you strike out?
Never.
How many times did Reed or Alex strike out?
I think Reed did strike out. But Alec, every time he goes up to bat, he goes, dude, I'm putting this shit over. Which I will give him credit. One time he did tank one over the fence, but it was so far left of the foul pole.
Yeah.
But he was like, film this.
He bat flipped.
I filmed it. And it went over the fence to the left. And he was like, dude, send that to me.
He said, good enough. I just thought that was crazy because I remember you tried to like do a hard sell on it where you were like, we're going to play. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And you're like, on NFL Sundays, I immediately said, not a fucking shot ever.
It's like a whole different level when you're playing teams that have been playing for 10 years. Like we'll have the game tied in the fourth inning, 12-12, and all of a sudden this team will go on and score 15 runs in one inning. And it's like, well, we're screwed.
Yeah, well, regardless. NFL Sundays. Like some people, you either want this or you don't. You want to be good at this or you don't. You want to win money on Sundays or you want to play slow pitch softball. So I just thought that was crazy. But when he hit me with the fact that they didn't win a single game and he didn't even get the glory to round the bases after hitting one home run is crazy. None of them hit home runs. Did anybody on the team hit one home run?
Yeah, we had one or two guys.
Okay.
I think hit one.
Okay.
But
all right.
It's harder than you think.
I'm not saying it's
different
easy.
than a baseball swing, I'll tell you that. You don't hit up on the ball. You gotta cut it.
Yeah, well,
let it rise.
Yeah.
I just didn't have that in me this year.
Okay. Well, maybe you can hit the gym and get back there next year. Work on your forearms? What do you gotta
work on that trunk rotation.
There you go. All right. One thing, Little Caesars followed us on Instagram randomly. I was like, what? But then I got a message, and they're like, hey, we're looking for huge Saints fans that we can send some gear to. you might be seeing Rashid Shaheed wearing it to the stadium soon. And you can wear it and post it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever, sure. And they're still following us. I messaged back. I was like, so about that. Like, Shaheed's going to Seattle now. So is he still going to wear it? Or am I still getting the merch? Because you send me merch, I'll wear it. But I have no idea what it's going to be. But I just randomly popped up. It said, Little Caesars followed you. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why? And then the message came after. But I just thought that was extremely random. But then, yeah, he's like, we partnered with Rashid Shaheed. We're looking for Saints fans. I'm like, all right, well, he's in fucking Seattle now. So can I still get the clothes?
Yeah, we're going to get Little Caesars Rashid Shaheed jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've hit – I'm chewing ice into the fucking microphone, sorry. We've hit the trade deadline in the NFL. So a couple things. Did you just crunched on your cough drop as I started chewing ice?
Don't want to leave you there alone, man.
So, yeah, we hit the trade deadline, which means sometimes chaos can ensue. We saw a little bit of it, I would say. The Jets traded Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, which is unbelievably dumb, in my opinion, for the Colts. Everybody's saying the Colts are in win-now mode. I don't think the Colts are really going to win now. Sauce Gardner is not worth 2 first-round picks. I've said for a couple years now, Sauce Gardner is incredibly overrated. Very marketable. That's why you see him in all these fucking Wingstop commercials and shit. Not that good of a player. And he's certainly not worth 2 first-round picks, although I get it, the Colts have a good record and are probably going to pick towards the end of the first round. But still, we're halfway through the year. We got to see how this shakes out. You never know. But I get it. It's like they have some weaknesses in that defense, and they're trying to shore up the issues. But 2 first-round picks? Does that not seem crazy?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Jets also got another first-round pick.
They traded Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys.
Yeah, from the Cowboys, so.
Which I think Quinnen Williams is a stud.
Yeah.
And so that's a great move by the Cowboys, in my opinion. I don't know what his contract situation is. I don't know the details. I don't know how many picks. I think it was just 1 first-round pick maybe. But it's like, I know they had multiple from the Michael Parsons trade, so I don't even know which one they sent.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a 2027 first-round pick, but
yeah.
I think the Jets now have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts or something like that.
2 next year, 3 the following year. And that is how you rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Cowboys gave up a 2026 second-round pick and a 27 first-round pick and defensive tackle Mozzie Smith to the Jets to complete the trade.
Dude, they hate Mozzie Smith. He hasn't done shit. They took him in the first round. I try to read as much as I can or listen as much as I can about the teams and all of that. The beat reporters and all of that were so down on Mozzie Smith. He just never turned into what they were hoping he would. Yeah, those are good moves by the Jets, though. That's what you do. When you're in a rebuild, you got to rebuild. And you have, like, I'm sure people are pissed, like, oh, we're trading our star players. Or I saw people like, Rashid Shaheed, what are we doing? It's like, he was undrafted. You got a 3rd and a 4th. That's a fucking great trade. He's only under contract for this year. He was going to go wherever to the highest bidder next year. Mm-hmm. That's a great trade. You got to trade everybody. It's everybody has a window in their prime in the league, and Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams are in theirs right now. So if you're the Jets and you're thinking, you're not going to be a contender for a few years, those guys are going to be over the hump. You know what I mean? Like, now you got to go find new superstars. They could still contribute. It could be like a Cam Jordan by that point in time, like however long. You know what I mean? Like, the point I'm making, while you know you're not going to win anything with them now, you dump them and go hope to refill with more superstar talent in those positions if need be, but also at other spots of need. But, yeah, it's like, I think we should – the problem is we don't have anybody worth a fucking first-round pick.
Yeah.
We can't trade anybody. We got to package 6 players to get 1 first-round pick. We'd have to give them, like, our entire starting offensive line for 1 first-round pick. Trevor Penning went to the Chargers. He sucks. What a horrible pick. I was watching some of the footage, the all-22 footage of the game last week, and Shuck, when he was going to Olave on the 3rd down, Olave dropped the fucking ball. But when you watch Penning just completely not block the guy right in front of him and he like pushes the guy that the center was about to block, and then just an unimpeded rusher right at Chuck, and he threw a good ball. It was just dropped, but what a just unbelievably dumb draft pick. I remember reading, and I saw it again today, where they're like, the first ever first-round pick in Northern Iowa history. It's like, yeah, we took him. What the fuck were we thinking? No one takes people from over there. Well, like, we thought we were Mickey Loomis is a fucking idiot. Dude.
That was the same draft we drafted Olave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we traded a pick to move up to get him, I think. We moved back into the first round to go get Penning. Or we traded up to get Olave. I thought, because we took them both in the first round.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we
did
traded.
a stream for it.
Yeah.
And it was the Pelicans were playing a playoff game against the
I
Suns.
do remember that.
But
yeah.
I went and watched it when I was out that one podcast day.
Oh, I said some shit, I think, in there that I think I said some stuff that I might have said retard a couple times.
Oh, I don't know, but I didn't I didn't remember recording it. That's how long ago it was, and then I was like, we were so fucking excited that we got Olave. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, Penning.
Yeah. Big guy who can block. No, I still think Olave is very good. He's not what the situation and the circumstance and all of that. Like, I said it when he came out that year. We both said it. Like, we felt like he was the best route runner in the draft. He's still a very good wide receiver. He gets open. He like the injury hit stuff and all of that. I still think he's capable of being a good wide receiver. Is he Jackson Smith and Jigba? No. Is he any of the other Ohio State wide receivers? No. But I do think he's productive and was worthy of the pick at the time. He's adopted it. He's fell into that Joseph role where they got to cough every episode.
Something about the seat or something.
Yeah. You need something like some Claritin?
Nah, I'm all good.
Joseph, you hit the vape?
No.
What is it?
Nothing.
Stop coughing. You ever hear me cough up here?
I coughed one time.
You cough once an episode. Yeah, take one of those. It's not a huge deal. It's just it's funny because Joseph used to cough every episode. Every one. So what's going on?
Don't know.
You sick?
No.
Every Tuesday?
Sound a little congested.
Was a little last week, but I'm good now.
All right.
I'm telling you, man, whatever anybody says to me just agrees with. Bam walked in. Nick said, damn, you need a haircut. He said, I know. I said, it doesn't even look long. He said, I know. Which one is it? Oh, Bam. You crack me up. All right. College basketball is back in full swing. If anybody wants to take what I'm taking, I took the Houston Cougars 10-1 to win the national championship. Not a surprise. Big Houston fan. Have been for years. You've heard me talk about them a million times if you followed us. But they got 2 5-star freshmen that are the real deal over there. I don't know. Houston should be the favorite. They basically are. They're right behind Purdue. So it's not like going out on a limb with a long shot. It's not like Texas Tech last year, which I'll never forget that till the day I die. Should have beat Florida, who won the national championship. But, yeah, if you're looking for a bet to place and ride it throughout the year and follow along, Houston's going to be a very fun team. They're going to be a dominant team. They're going to be incredible on the defensive side of the ball, like always with Kelvin Sampson. So that's the way I'm going. You should do it, too. I bet you haven't done it yet. You should, though.
I haven't.
I want to go to a Houston game. Ain't that far away. When they play a good team, go pop over there, the Fertitta Center. We should consider that because that would be pretty sick. A big, because the Big 12 is, like, insane.
Yeah.
There's so many good teams, so there's plenty of good matchups. All righty. That's pretty much all I got. We'll get into the recap and dive into some best bets, unless y'all got anything else. No?
Internet Invitational.
What about it?
Pretty good.
That's all you got?
Luke Wan.
Yeah, I mean, we're weeks past that now. Yeah, no, it is. I will say it's if you like golf and all of that, it's probably the best like overall production wise in terms of like a internet golf tournament. It's definitely worth watching. It's been pretty good. I will agree. All righty, let's see. It's like I said with college, it's just been one of those years where it's like a slow burn each week. So this week we go 2, 3, and 1. Had Florida plus 7.5 against Georgia. That was one thing that was killing me. I saw so many people on the internet go, oh my God, Georgia, the worst bad beat of the year. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about, for one? There's been a million other bad beats, like actual bad beats.
Yeah.
This was not a bad beat. So if you're on the other end listening right now and you had Georgia, look, it's unfortunate that Gunnar Stockton didn't run that ball in for you, but you had no business. Florida was the right side in that game. Florida was covering that game the entire fucking time. They got hosed by the officials on a really underthrown ball from Lagway that should have been caught and probably ran in for a touchdown. But it was still a catch, in my opinion. Florida should never have been in that position where they went 4 and out and gave the ball right back to Georgia. It would have been an extremely lucky cover from Georgia. It would have been a bad beat for Florida. So I've seen so many people go, oh my God, how does Gunnar Stockton not go into the end zone? Because that's the right play, and that's happened a million times. I've also seen people accuse him of point shaving, and you see people do that all the time. They go down inbounds, now they can kneel it, guaranteed win. Like, what are we talking about? Florida was covering that game the entire time, wire to wire, unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Texas and Vanderbilt under 55.5. Right before kick, this got steamed up to like 48.5. I wasn't feeling good after that. And then I really wasn't feeling good when they took the first play to the house for a 75-yard touchdown on a fucking bubble screen to the wide receiver. So that wasn't a good start. I should have just took Texas. I don't know why. I tried to get cute, I guess. We were talking about it. You were on Texas. I felt like that defense was the real deal. It was more worries of, like, is Arch going to play or not? And even if he does play, they haven't looked spectacular. I was kicking myself for that one. We can talk about this one. Duke plus 3.5 was my lock of the week. What are your you were on the opposite side. One of the few times we've been opposites this year.
Yeah.
I will say this. I went back and watched the PI call. I don't hate it on second thought. I'm sure you hated it in real time.
Yeah, I hated it, and I hated it after I saw it 3 more times. So
he grabs his face mask though, and he's locked up with him way downfield, not looking at the ball.
But that ball's not even really thrown.
It was kind of
that
up
ball
for
just
grabs.
Thrown like to nowhere.
Yes,
and
but
it just happens to be on the other side of the defender.
But I think the receiver could have got to it if he didn't have a defender in between him holding him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He would have at least been able to get in the vicinity of it to make a play on it. In real time, I was like, oh my God. But then when I went back and watched, Gruden was going crazy about it. And then I was the other people that he was talking to were like, I kind of agreed with it, like, after looking at it. And so I was watching it a few more times. He does grab his face mask. Like, does he yank it? No, but he gets his hand on his face mask as he's trying to cut across. And then the defender's like this as the ball's back there, and he's kind of locked up with him. I don't know how much he was really holding him. I felt
he
like
wasn't really touching him. Like, he kind of was like this.
Well, after the fact, though, but he rode him the whole way down the field. Like, he was locked up with him.
Once the ball was thrown, he was.
Yeah, but he didn't even see the ball. That's where. But yeah, it was kind of like the receiver was trying to get to the ball. He was in his way. He wasn't really grabbing him at that point. I felt like I expected there to be a no call. So when there was a flag, I could see. I just don't think it was as egregious as I originally thought and as what was said. But I expected it to be a no call. It was certainly fortunate. I even texted you. I was like, Duke didn't really deserve this one at all because it became clear Clemson was running the ball down their throat, and there was nothing Duke could do about it. I was like, we are in trouble. So, and this started, I think it started out 21-7. Duke was up.
Yeah.
So it was a good start for Duke. I'm gonna pull it up. Long story short, Duke ended up winning 46 to 45. Yeah, Clemson had 560 yards of offense, 175 yards rushing. They were 3 of 10 on third down, though. The thing was, nobody could get stopped on fourth down. Duke was 5 of 5 on fourth down, and Clemson was 3 of 3. So, but Duke couldn't run the ball. Clemson won the time of possession battle. So it was a lucky one on the Duke side of things, but I'll take it because I needed it. What what was the 75-yard touchdown right after Duke tied it up. The one-play touchdown on the was it a slant that he just took to the house? That one dude's fast as shit.
It might have been a screenplay.
Maybe. Yeah, he turned on the damn Jets, and that was – but because, yeah, Duke had tied it up right in the beginning of the fourth quarter. So then we had Notre Dame minus 28.5. This one, man, this is one of those I would bet Notre Dame again and again and again and again. I was scratching my head coming away from this. Notre Dame won 25-10. They had a chance to go into the end zone in the first quarter, maybe start of the second quarter. Jadarian Price fumbled inside the 5-yard line, and so Notre Dame had a chance to be up 19-0. He fumbles. There was, Boston College scored a touchdown because they called on fourth down. Boston College went for it, and they called roughing the passer, I think it was, and it was fucking terrible. It was a terrible call to extend a drive, and then they get a touchdown right after. And Notre Dame was missing field goals. But the problem was to start the second half, Boston College came out with a 21-play, 11-minute drive to start the second half that resulted in a field goal. And it was dead right there. You got to win by fucking 30 points. You just took away almost the entire third quarter in a drive out the half. I would bet Notre Dame again. It's like I said, Boston College is very bad at stopping the run, so Notre Dame could hit on explosives. Carr just kept missing. They were open, dude. The receivers were fucking wide open, and he kept overthrowing them, and it was driving me crazy. But I felt like the running backs could hit explosives and put quick points up on the board. You saw that. Love took one play. It was a one-play drive. He took it 94 yards to the house. So I was left scratching my head that this was only a 15-point win for Notre Dame. So then we had Minnesota -3. And when I tell you, and I am done with Minnesota, they pushed this game. They came back to push, forced overtime. I couldn't be more done with this Minnesota team, although I was fortunate that we got the push. Minnesota had 10 points at half. They didn't score again until the last drive of the fourth quarter. I'm done with them. The problem was Michigan State went to the backup quarterback. They benched Childs. They started Milivojevic or some shit. And he's on it. He's better than Childs. So, and then the last play we had Tennessee -3, and my God, Tennessee was the better team, except at the quarterback position. Even though I didn't think Mateer's not good. Mateer's just not as good as we thought at the beginning of the year. Once they got to playing competition, he's just not that good. Aguilar just played like shit. I don't know how closely you watched this game.
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of it. He kind of like crumbled there, you know.
Fuck yeah. No, they were better than them.
There was that first turnover, I think. It was really bad, and then, how many times did he end up throwing that ball to the other team?
2. But God, they outgained him by over 100 yards. They couldn't stop the goddamn run, but they had 3 turnovers. Dude, I'm watching this, and I'm like, they're moving the ball, and then they would just keep turning it over. But Tennessee was the better team. Aguilar just fucking played like shit. It was unbelievable. That was a very frustrating one as well. I don't think Mateer's good. I'm out on Mateer as well. He had the hand injury, so you had that excuse. Okay, he's working his way back from the hand injury. He's just not very good passing the football. So he was 19 of 29, 159 yards and an interception. So he was able to do it with his legs. That was the difference. They averaged over 5 yards a carry. But that's going to be a problem for them. And Tennessee was able to move the ball and put up yards. It wasn't – dude, Aguilar's just throwing it up for fucking grabs. It's not even like making the defense make a great play. He was just – there was one where that's what he did. He kept fucking predetermining because they were talking about it on the broadcast. He's like not even looking. He's looking to the left, and then he's just throwing. He's not reading the safeties or anything. And the receiver's not even in the vicinity. The safeties, you can see him. He's like, oh, shit, okay. Like, it goes right to him. I couldn't believe that Heupel was even allowing that to happen. I don't understand. So there's a couple throws over the middle where it's like he's got talent. He threaded a couple balls, like layering the throws in the coverage. But then the mistakes were these head-scratching mistakes. Like, where is this? Why are you doing that? Why do you keep fucking randomly going like, all right, hut, and just throw it and hope? And it just absolutely killed him. I felt like Tennessee was certainly the better team. The college football playoff did just drop. It looks like we've got Ohio State number 1, Indiana number 2, A&M 3, Bama 4. So they're going to do the bracket weekly now. So they would be in the quarterfinals immediately. At number 5, you have Georgia. Number 6, you have Ole Miss. So I'll just do the matchups. 5 would be Georgia playing 12 Memphis. They would beat the dog shit out of Memphis. The 9-8 matchup, though, oh my goodness, this would be sick. Oregon would be going on the road to take on Texas Tech. You've got Virginia at 11 going on the road to take on Ole Miss at 6. That doesn't seem like that's going to be concrete. That's probably going to change. And then the 10-7 matchup would be Notre Dame going on the road to take on BYU, who they would skull fuck by 50. I would bet you'd have to make that a 35-point spread for me to not take Notre Dame. And I understand.
Yeah, we'll see because BYU, they're still undefeated.
Yes.
They play Texas Tech.
Yes.
10-point underdogs.
Yeah. No, this is going to shake up tremendously.
Virginia right now has the best record in the ACC.
Virginia ain't making the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC is just not that good, though.
That is fair. Yeah, I guess it's like who is, what is Louisville's record? Louisville's probably going to get there. Do they have 2 losses or 1 loss?
Louisville?
Yeah. Because they beat Miami. Let's see. I'm trying to get to it. God damn it.
I think Louisville.
They have 1 loss, so 7-1. Louisville's going to get there. I bet you if you had to, you like Virginia because they just covered for you last week with your lock.
Yeah, I think Virginia's good.
You want to do a $50? I'll take Louisville. You take Virginia.
I don't even know what the schedule's looking like.
Louisville plays Cal this week. You just got a good look at Cal, and then Louisville plays Clemson, SMU, Kentucky. They got to run the gauntlet. They got to run the ACC gauntlet, and then close it out with an SEC. Come on. And then Virginia. They've got Wake Forest this week, easy win. Oh, they've only got 3 games left. Wake Forest, Duke, Virginia Tech. Wow. Honestly, that should be like 2-1.
Maybe if they
I should be getting plus money.
Play each other in the conference championship,
You're going to go head-to-head on that?
we can go head-to-head on that.
Okay.
Against the spread, of course.
But then it's like we would just bet it. Regular. What, we go no juice?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
Virginia will probably get upset this week against Wake Forest.
I told you I was looking for positions to fade Virginia. That was not one with Cal. I didn't think that was. I just don't really like Cal. Which I'll let you talk about that, I guess. I went 2-3-1 on the week. 33, 44, and 4 pushes, which is crazy. 3-7 of my locks, not good, but we're 1-0 in our last one. You had 4 plays. You went 2-2. We already talked about Clemson Duke because we went head to head, and you're trying to go head to head again. Crazy. Texas minus 2.5 was easy, and then
Until the end, when Vanderbilt almost
but
recovered
that was
kick.
fraudulent though. That was I honestly stopped watching because I was like,
Yeah, I did too, and then I tuned in, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they're kicking they almost recovered it.
like I truly didn't see it at the very end because I started keeping tabs on other things. But some people that I follow, I saw them saying like, if you had Virginia, or if you had, because this might have closed. I don't know if it went to 3.5, but I saw people saying like,
It closed at 3.5.
okay, wow. So people that took Vanderbilt got inside the number. So I saw people saying like, if you have a Vanderbilt ticket, go to the go buy a lottery ticket. Like everybody was saying, like that was a miracle for them to get inside 3.5.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those, like, I don't even pay too much attention to that. Like I feel like that can sometimes cloud your judgment where you're like, well, Vanderbilt covered. It's like, yeah, that's like a 1 out of however many, like a fluky cover.
Yeah.
Texas handled that game and was dominating that game for a large portion, in my opinion. Your lock of the week was Virginia -4. You needed a late pick 6.
Yeah, which it really should have never came down to it because Virginia dominated this game, outgained Cal by 200 yards, held Cal to 8 rushing yards on 25 attempts. It's like a game where Virginia was up 10 late, and it was just like, you're kind of watching the game thinking, oh, could be up more. Then Cal scores a late touchdown. Virginia gets the ball, drives it all the way down the field. I think they got it to the 15 and then ended up getting it to like a 4th and 3. Instead of kicking the field goal to go up by 6 with 47 seconds left, they end up going for it on 4th down and failing. And on the very first play of Cal's drive, they threw a pick 6, and it was an incredible play.
That's what I was going to ask you. So I wasn't watching this. Was it a bad decision from Sungapolatelli?
Yeah, but it was an incredible, like, because he had to use his arm to keep himself off the ground. As he was intercepting it, he kind of like jumped the route and then got knocked off balance by the receiver a little bit. And he went to the ground but held himself up with his hand.
And then returned it to the house? Yeah, so somebody, because I posted the clip from you giving out this game, and somebody said, this aged like milk. Then somebody dumped out the spoiled milk and poured a glass of the best fine wine on the planet, never in doubt. So I guess they were on Virginia as well with you.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Virginia -4 closed 6.5. It was like they dominated this game. 10 for 19 on 3rd down, outgained them by 200 yards. It's like, should have never been close there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I went back and watched some of it, but I didn't see the final play. I don't know what's wrong with fucking Cal. I would have took that kid number 1 in the fucking draft this year after week 1.
I don't think he's a bad player. I think there are issues at the line of scrimmage on both sides.
That and they lack skill position, and really they're just not. The roster's not good. I think they just hit on a quarterback, and they were probably like, "Oh shit, okay, well." Wilcox was like, they just lost Fernando Mendoza, who's up there as the Heisman favorite, possibly going to go number 1 in the draft. So they're probably like, okay, shit, they got this kid coming in, and then they're like, okay, we fucking really have something here. So
yeah, it's like they can't run the ball.
Yeah, but it's
8 rushing yards.
They don't even try to though. How many attempts though?
25.
Okay, that's more than normal. I feel normally they like circumvent the lack of being able to run by just throwing bubble screens and shit like that. Yeah,
Buddy lost 42 yards of sacks.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. It's a little misleading.
So 50 yards.
Yeah.
Still not good.
No, they can't run the ball though. That's the biggest problem is they're very one-dimensional offense. They put it all on his shoulders, so he'll look damn good, but then you got him throwing somebody. He's a true freshman. He just makes mistakes. So 2-2 brings you 24-24-2, 6-4 in your locks of the week. Bam. I think you went 2-0, correct?
I did. Had Kentucky first half plus 6.5. It was 3-3 at halftime.
Was it? I thought they were winning. And they won this game outright, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it was 3-3 at half, and then Auburn didn't score, and they ended up scoring a touchdown and to win 10-3.
You are
that's
correct. Yes.
And then for the lock of the week, had Texas Tech, Kansas State over 52.5. There were 63 points scored in this game, so
yeah, it was a slow start. They turned it on in the second half.
So 2-0 on the week puts me at 12-13 on the season and 4-5 for my locks of the week.
It's good. It's better than me. I don't know what's going on. I really don't, because I feel like my problem is I have too much volume, but that's every year. That's been every year that we've ever done this show. I've always given out more plays than I should. If I would narrow it down to my favorites, we would do a little bit better. But then even this week, and I like all of them. It's not like I don't. I bet every play I give out. It's not like, oh, I'm giving out a bunch, but I'm only betting the ones I like. I like them all. But if I had to narrow it down to 3 or something like that, it may go a little bit better. But I don't know. I really feel like the first week, absolutely, was like fucking opposite day. Kansas beat the dog shit out of Fresno State. I would love to know what that spread would be if they played now. Like, Kansas is not that good. Kansas lost so much production.
Yeah, Fresno's not great either.
No, I know they're not, but like that was probably Kansas's best game they played all year.
But even Kansas State, like, I haven't watched them recently, but we were on them there for a couple weeks in a row there in the beginning. And I was like, I'm not betting this team ever again.
No, exactly. But then Florida State beats Alabama. So it's like, okay, Florida State's pretty good this year. They're not. They fucking suck. Norvell's fired. Bama's top 5 in the country. It's like you look like, okay, Bama's fraudulent. LSU over Clemson. Turns out they both are dog shit. It's like, and there was more than that. UCLA. Utah goes and trounces UCLA. UCLA rattles off a few fucking big wins down the stretch. Utah then goes and gets dominated by Texas Tech. It's just one of those things in the beginning. I don't know. I wasn't able to decipher between what was legitimate and what was not so much, I guess. So I still have confidence that we're going to right the ship. If you remember last year, didn't go that well, and then just absolutely fucking dominated bowl season. I'm hoping we can avoid that and not have to do that again. But I will do it again if I have to. All right, so I'm trying to get just updated numbers here. Dude, this is going to aggravate the fuck out of me. I'm not going to give it out because there's no 28s available, but they may have even posted it lower, but I think it was Sunday. Miami was 27.5 point favorites over Syracuse. So I took that. I sent that to them. I was like, I'll be shocked if this doesn't close over 28. And it's obviously far from closing, but it's sitting at 28.5 now. I am not going to give it out, but for what it's worth, I don't know how. Miami's going to have to pack it in. See, this is where in my brain, the voice just went off in my brain where it was like, just give it out anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do it. You got to go with your gut. My gut's what's got me into this hole, and my gut's going to keep me in this hole, but we're going to do it. So, all right, we'll go to college football. That was our recap. College football week 11. I guess we'll start it off from the top with, do you have anything midweek? We've got Maction now. Midweek CUSA's gone. Thank God.
I have Friday.
Okay. So put a pin in Syracuse, Miami. We'll come back to that. But what are you going with on Friday? What's your first play?
We're going to go to Tulane, Memphis. Tulane's taking some money. I think the point spread's down to 4.5. You might be able to find 5.5 last I checked. Some head-scratching losses for both of these teams. Memphis, good offense, 11th nationally in points per game, 29th nationally in yards per play. Tulane's coming off of its worst game defensively since playing Ole Miss. It's a game where Tulane turned it over 4 times as well. I think this is a game where both teams kind of have some success running it. I question how many drives finished with touchdowns here. Both defenses have decent points per opportunity metrics. And Tulane offensively is really far from top tier when it comes to finishing drives. On top of that, both of these teams rank outside the top 80 in tempo. We're going to go Tulane, Memphis, under 55.5.
I'll take it as well, just because I want something for Friday. I'll be on some college basketball, I'm sure. But now I was looking at this one. I'll trust your judgment there because I was looking at this one. I couldn't find a consensus that I couldn't come to an agreement on a side. I will say I've been kind of waiting on this Tulane team to fall back to earth a little bit. We obviously faded them with ECU, and that was disgusting that Summerall scored it there at the end. I felt like I just don't think that they're that great. And it's really Retzlaff. I don't think Retzlaff is that great. I didn't think that they were going to get beat by goddamn 3 touchdowns against UTSA. But, Bam, hit the heat on the thing. I'm fucking freezing. Jesus Christ. You got multiple college degrees, dude. Hit the button. Alrighty. Let me write that down. How many total do you have?
5.
Okay. Bam, how many total do you have?
2.
Oh. So 1 on a lock?
Yep.
All right. I don't have anything other than what I just jumped on with you. So we'll go to Saturday. I am going to go to, let's just start with what I was talking about earlier. We'll go Syracuse, Miami. So yeah, the money came in on Miami. It's now 28.5. There's no 28s. I'm still going to go against my better judgment and I'm going to lay 28.5 points with Miami. Did you watch Syracuse the other day?
No.
Oh my God. So Angeli got hurt, and then Collins is terrible, so bad. LSU transfer, he's horrible. He's got more interceptions than touchdowns. So they went to Joe Filardi, fourth string quarterback. Who knows how many they've tried at this point. They played North Carolina, and North Carolina covered, and Joe Filardi was 4 of 18 for 39 yards passing. I don't know how they do anything against this Miami defense unless Miami, fresh off the Mario Cristobal special, who just went to SMU and lost outright, a team that still had everything in front of them. Their postseason hopes are pretty much done at this point. It's over with. You got Carson Beck over there. Who is Carson Beck? But still going to want to try to go to the NFL and all. I don't think they're going to pack it in. They have so much talent. It's honestly coaching malpractice what Mario Cristobal has done with this Miami team again. But I still think that they could come out here and beat Syracuse by 50. This quarterback was so bad. And I'm talking like dirt and balls to wide receivers on screens or running a hitch and throwing it at their feet. So maybe I get burned by he just played the worst game of his entire life and he's going to turn around and all of a sudden figure out how to pass. I don't know how. So I'm going to just not get scared away by the money coming in. Like I said, 27.5. I saw it. I was like, I don't see how this closes under 28. I was praying it would hang around until we recorded. It didn't. I'll still give it out. So we're going to go Miami Hurricanes minus 28.5 against Syracuse as my first play. What is your next one for Saturday?
Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan. Both of these teams suck. Bowling Green is not a team that can do much offensively. The defense is okay. That they're good against the run. I like what I've seen from Noah Kim and Eastern Michigan. The Eastern Michigan offense so far this year, even though it hasn't really translated to wins. I think in the end, Eastern Michigan has more success. So we're going to take Eastern Michigan minus 1.5 at home.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go to Indiana and Penn State, number 2 ranked Hoosiers. I haven't been on Indiana this year. And it's been one of those, it's like the Squidward meme where he's staring out the window watching everybody have fun and making money. That's how I felt, sitting on the sidelines. Well, we're gonna try to back the Hoosiers here, and maybe it's too late, wrong time to do it, but we're going to see what we can do here. I do think it's pretty clear that Indiana and Ohio State have separated themselves from the pack as it currently stands. And it's Indiana. That's what you keep saying to yourself. And you're like, they're going to fall off. We saw it last year. Look, Mendoza's a much better quarterback than, who was it, Curtis Rourke last year. Indiana turned right back around, and they're doing it again. So this is a Penn State team that obviously we all know what happened. Shit has completely hit the fan. James Franklin got fired. Aller with the dislocated ankle. They've lost 5 in a row after starting 3-0. They took Oregon to overtime, and then everything completely crumbled. Ohio State just played Penn State, outgained them by 280 yards, held them to 55 yards rushing on 31 attempts. So I do have reason to believe, if capable, that Indiana will run it up on Penn State as a you're welcome to James Franklin. And I do think they're more than capable here. So I think you keep watching every week where you're like, that's a big number. Is Cignetti going to be – are they going to just keep running it up on teams week after week? And they keep doing it. So maybe We decide to back them at the absolute worst time, but I'm going to do it. So I will lay 14.5 with the Indiana Hoosiers. Bam, what's your one before you lock? You're fresh off a 2-0 week, so can you build on it?
Yep. So I'm going to Kansas at Arizona.
I'm on this for what it's worth.
Okay.
Just letting you know. So I'm
Well, I'm laying the 4.5 with Arizona.
I am too. Why are you
Cool.
laughing? Don't
Because
be scared.
I thought that smirk was saying you're about to take it.
No.
Kansas.
Stand on business. You got a better record than I do.
Yep. Well, Arizona
Don't say
minus
yep.
4.5.
Don't say yep. Don't say yep.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you break it down.
Okay. I don't have a ton on it. I really just do feel like this Kansas team. You saw him play Kansas State, who was obviously clicking at the right time. They lost 42-17 on the road against Texas Tech, 42-17. They beat Oklahoma State, and then they beat UCF, but then you lose to Cincinnati. So I feel like this Kansas team is really Jalen Daniels is playing pretty damn good, but I just think that there's not much around him to help, and I think you're going to see what you've seen throughout the year. When they play the upper echelon teams, they struggle. Record-wise, Arizona is not that, but I do think that they're playing good football. And I think at home they're a much different team. So I'm going Arizona. I'm going to lay the 4.5 as well, just like Bam, who a team back-to-back road games, now they get to go back home. You saw them take BYU to double overtime. We were on the wrong side of that one. If they could fall on a goddamn fumble and the referees don't move it forward and give them a first down when it clearly wasn't, then maybe Arizona wins that game against an undefeated BYU team who's ranked in the top 10 right now, another fraudulent team. I really do think Fafita's playing well. I think that he'll be able to outduel Jalen Daniels, who, look, he's got 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's been a very good year. He came back. He lost a ton of people that he's been there with for a long time. I think this is a good spot for Arizona, so I will lay 4.5. I thought you were about to say me too.
I'll take them.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All around the table, consensus. No, I really do.
What time's that game for?
I just had it.
2:30.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not an early one. I know that. Alrighty. All right, my next one. Yeah, it's a good play, Ben. It's a good play.
Thank you.
You should be proud of that play. My next one, we are going to go to Cal going on the road to take on Louisville. Two teams we were just talking about. 6 p.m. kick. Louisville's at home laying 19.5 points. I'm not going to stare at my phone the whole time. I just wanted to make sure that motherfucker. Louisville's laying 20.5 points. Not the biggest difference, I guess, but if that doesn't give you any hint on which way I'm going. So, look, Nick's lock was just Virginia going on the road to take on Cal as 4-point favorites. They covered the number. This Cal team's just really not playing great football right now. Like he mentioned, they were outgained by nearly 200 yards, 3 of 12 on third down. They can't run the ball. It's a one-dimensional offense. This Louisville team, depending on which Miller Moss you get, I do still think Miller Moss is good enough, and they have talent on the outside. You saw it in the Miami game. You saw it front and center. They have a ton of talent at the wide receiver position, one of the best running backs in the country with Isaac Brown. Isaac Brown looked banged up earlier to start the season. We were on Louisville a good handful of times in the beginning, and that's what it became apparent to me where I'm just like, he's just a step slower. I think he was battling an ankle injury. The last few games, he's coming off 130 yards, 8.1 yard per carry. Game before that, 205 yards against Boston College, 113 yards on the road against Miami. He looks healthy. He's back adding a dynamic rushing attack to an already capable passing offense with Jeff Brom calling the plays. But this defense for Louisville is damn good. I think that they're going to be able to get after JKS, and I just think it's a really tough spot for an overrated Cal team after a tough game with Virginia. Now you got to go across the country to Louisville. I'm going to lay 20.5 with the Cardinals here. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of points, but I mean, Louisville should certainly be able to establish a run here and kind of make things easier for Miller Moss. And then on the other side of the ball, it's like, just how close can you keep games? I really thought Cal was fortunate for the game last week to be that close against Virginia. So,
yeah, I mean, I think this is.
And this was Cal at home.
Yeah.
So now Cal on the road against Louisville. I don't know. There's a reason the number's as big as it is.
Well, I think Louisville's got a significantly better defense than Virginia. So you look at Cal played Duke, they lost 45-21. It's like, yeah, this number's where it's at for a reason. You also have a Louisville team who knows everything is up for grabs right now in the ACC with Miami losing again. So, and we glossed over Georgia Tech, although they did just lose.
Yeah.
The way the ACC shakes out right now, Virginia's at the top. You got Georgia Tech, Pitt, and Louisville. So SMU's got so Georgia Tech and Pitt are 5-1 in conference play. Virginia's 5-0. Louisville's 4-1. It's all right there. So you got a lot of teams at 4 or 3 teams at 4-1. But yeah, I think we're going to see one of the more complete performances from Louisville. That was the problem. The defense was there and the offense wasn't, vice versa. They haven't played complementary football. I think we're going to see that this week. And this is just a flawed Cal team. It just is. So I think the defense that they have, you're going to see. I've watched it with my own 2 eyes too many times where JKS just makes these throws that you're like, what the fuck? I think they're asking him to do too much, and I don't think he really has a choice but to throw it 40 times a game. I don't think that's a recipe for success against this Louisville team, so I'll lay 20.5 points. What is your next one?
It's a 6:30 kickoff, Navy at Notre Dame. I like Blake Horvath. He's a fantastic player, but I really question, like I did last year, how can Navy keep up here? Notre Dame defensively, we talked about it this year. They're not as good as they were last year, but they're still 7th nationally in schedule-adjusted defensive efficiency. They're top 10 in yards per rush allowed. Navy, to put it nicely, their defense just isn't the strength of their team. They're 83rd nationally in yards per play allowed. I think Notre Dame smashes here. We're going to lay 26.5 with Notre Dame at home.
I'll take it too because of what happened to me last week. So, yeah, I mean, look, I was watching the North Texas game because, I'm going to be honest, I think this Mestamaker kid is going to be a fucking superstar. They had 424 yards of offense. They ran for 190 yards. That's North Texas. And this is a team that I've talked about, and they have talent. Hawkins is a really good player. Caleb Hawkins had 197 yards, 4 touchdowns on 6 yards per carry. Get ready to learn fucking Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, pal. I'll take it as well. Now, see, and this is where it happens. This is where it's like, yeah, I don't have that many plays this week, and then I'm going to have 10. Notre Dame minus 26.5. Alrighty, next one. Let's talk about it. Are you going to do it?
No.
No?
No.
No? I'll do it. LSU's going on the road to take on Alabama. Look, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Do you know how much money I've lost on this fucking team this year? I had a big old futures bet on LSU, 20-1. It's like, man, that was a good number. They beat Clemson. No, they suck. But the talent doesn't. The coaching did. And we got him out of there. Brian Kelly was fired. This is a typical win in spite of your douchebag coach spot. You have talent on the offensive side, but what you had was inept play calling because of Joe Sloan. We fired his dumbass too. I think this Alabama team, it's like I said, has been allowing teams to hang around. You see South Carolina 29-22, Missouri 27-24. Vanderbilt was 30-14, but if Pavia doesn't turn the ball over as many times as he did on their side of the field or in Alabama territory, you're looking at a completely different game because I'm pretty sure Alabama scored like in the final second, so that's a misleading final score there too. 10.5 points, I'm going to take the LSU Tigers. It's more of I feel like there's going to be plenty of people out there that are just like, oh, it's a spot play. Like for us, it's our team, so it's different, and we bet them every goddamn week, and we lose every goddamn week. But I really do think that we've seen this Alabama team be in games down the stretch with I think teams with inferior talent. I really do think it was a coaching thing. And just by default, with everything that happened, I think that you're going to see a step up in intensity and maybe a little bit more of an opening of the offense. And look, if we get beat by 30, I won't be surprised, and I'll just be like, I'm fucking so stupid. But we're going to do it. LSU plus 10.5 on the road against Bama. All right, Bam, turn the heat off now because now it's hot. Put it on
What mode you want it on?
maybe put it on dry.
I like that.
All right. Let's see. I am going to go to, how many more do you have?
One more in my lock.
Are you on Florida, Kentucky?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to do side and total.
I'm on side.
Okay. That's good because I scratched out the total. I already have it, but the number's not there anymore. I had 45.5. I was going to go under. It was down to 43.
Yeah.
Which pisses me the fuck off. I really like, it's bothering me this year more
The
than
totals will move fast, man.
I know. This isn't your lock, then this your last one?
Yeah.
I'll let you go then.
We're taking Florida -3.
Okay, I was on Kentucky.
And here's the thing. I think Kentucky defensively is vastly overrated, and I think Florida is far superior as far as talent's concerned here. Kentucky defensively is 59th in opponent yards per play. They're 31st in schedule-adjusted defensive efficiency. Kind of think 31st is good, but to put that in perspective, that's good enough for 12th in the SEC. I'm a little bit surprised that they held Auburn to 3 points, but then again, it's Auburn. It's like, don't really have a quarterback. So I think Florida defensively really shuts down Kentucky here. And I think if anybody gets the best of anybody here, it's going to be Florida. So we'll lay 3 with Florida.
All right, I'll scrap it. Yeah, I was going to take Kentucky. More of because I felt like last week was when you were going to get Florida's best effort. So this was my thought process where, and I think you saw it. They were in there in the game with Georgia and some misfortune there with the officials reviewing that. I don't know how you overturn that, but that's whatever. Neither here nor there. My first play was going to be the under, and I took it, but like I said, it's not there anymore. And then I was like, all right, well, like I wanted action on the game, and I felt like I still just feel like when you look at Florida offensively, which I don't think – maybe I'm underselling Georgia's defense, I guess. But they had 281 yards of offense. And the problem is it's like Lagway's terrible on third down. And that's what worried me the most in terms of backing Florida. But I'll just stay away from it altogether because, yeah, Kentucky's so bad on offense. So it's just like I keep waiting on Lagway to, like, not play like shit. Mm-hmm. But and they're just so bad on third down, dude. It's like head scratching. So I'll scrap it altogether. All right, I'm going to go to Missouri and Texas A&M. A&M's going on the road. So Missouri is now down to their third string quarterback. Let me get an updated number here. I know the flow of this. I'm very discombobulated with my notes this week, even more than normal. Okay. I'm going to lay 7 points with A&M. Pribula dislocated the ankle. Third-string freshman quarterback Matt Zollers is going to start. I do think this A&M team is seriously good. If you can stop Hardy on the ground, which once they hit like the bulk of their SEC schedule, they played Vanderbilt. He went for 97 yards on 20 carries, so they want to feed him. When they played Bama, you saw them really bottle him up. He had 52 yards on 12 carries. They took Auburn to multiple overtimes. Let's see. Now I don't know. What? My fucking iPad's going crazy. Anyway, I think A&M's going to be able to bottle up Hardy, and then you're trusting a third-string quarterback to go toe-to-toe with a team that has been able to score against pretty much everybody. 49 points in Death Valley against LSU, 45 against Arkansas, 34 against Florida's defense. I just don't think that he's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with a team that's playing better than I expected. So I will lay 7 points with the Aggies. And all you have left is your lock?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to battle my iPad actively, like breaking before my eyes. All right, I think I maybe just have my lock as well. And all you have left is your lock, Bam?
Yep.
All righty. All right. No such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, for my lock of the week in college football. It's been a struggle this year, but we got one last week. We're going to try to get another one. We're going to take Texas Tech minus 10 against BYU. I believe 10's the best number. This Texas Tech team is the real deal, and I think everybody kind of forgot. Their one loss was to Arizona State on the road with the backup quarterback. They took the lead in that game with 2 minutes to go. It took a remarkable drive from Leavitt in Arizona State to go and get the win. Bam's been betting on this Texas Tech team every year. It's been the right thing to do because this team with the roster, they went out and got the most expensive portal transfer class. It's paid dividends. Kansas State was playing their best football. Texas Tech just went in and beat them 43-20. So I've been as low as it gets on this BYU team. They burn me week after week, but I do not think Bachmeier is good enough to beat you with his arm, and I think Texas Tech has the defense to force him to do so. LJ Martin's questionable with a shoulder injury. If he doesn't go, BYU's screwed. I'm assuming he's going to play, but he's a very, very good running back, and he is the main focal point of their offense. So if he's out, Texas Tech's going to roll in this one, but I think they're going to roll regardless. So there's just too much talent on this team on both sides of the ball, so I'm going to lay 10 with Texas Tech as my lock of the week. I don't know if you were looking. I think that's the best number.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Texas Tech. This is a game I was looking at. I wanted to take the under. Texas Tech defensively, number 1 nationally. Schedule adjusted defensive efficiency. So
yeah, you got
that's surprising. If you would have said that at the beginning of the year, been like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but when you look at like David Bailey was one of the top DN transfers out of Stanford. Tech got him. It's like they went and got some guys that can get after the passer. He's one of those. He looks like a generic created player before you put anything on him. Like he's got like the sleeves on the jersey. He's got no tape, nothing on his arms. Like he looks like as bland as it gets, and then he's just wreaking havoc in the backfield. So, yeah, I said the last few weeks that I felt like there was going to be an opportunity. Look, I bet BYU's under 7.5 win total for plus money when Retzlaff got booted out of town for having sex. I was like, this is a winner. They left a bad number. That's going to cost me. I got to get that back. And I think we're going to get it back here. I think Texas Tech is going to beat the brakes off this team. Bachmeier's not a quarterback. He's just playing the quarterback position. So I've been saying I think there was an opportunity coming up here soon, and I think there's going to be even more after this one. But it starts here. Texas Tech minus 10 is the lock of the week. Which way are you going?
It's a lock.
All right, we're going LSU, Alabama, and just to break the ice real quick, we're going under 49.5.
Okay, I was about to say.
Obviously, we know big coaching changes for LSU, different play caller. I'm expecting Frank Wilson to lean on the run here and kind of take some pressure off of Nussmeier's shoulders. make third down a little bit more manageable. I mean, even if it's 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7, I think LSU has a much better chance of sustaining drives here. Excuse me. Alabama's a great offense, good offense, but it's like when I look at LSU, the talent we have, I think LSU defensively has a talent to make things difficult for Alabama. You've seen it against Georgia, where they didn't really have a dominant showing offensively in the second half, and then that's a Georgia defense that's just not what we were used to Georgia being. And then just a couple of other games, it just kind of sometimes their drives stall out. So I think the safer bet here is, even though I would lean LSU plus the points, I think the safer bet here is the under, because in the event that LSU really can't put points up on the board here.
Like all year.
Yeah.
Like what we've seen every game this season. Every single fucking game. I thought you were going to do it again. That would have been LSU lock of the week, 3 out of the last 4 weeks? Yeah. And it's only because we had a bye last week that you didn't fucking take them then. Look, if you put fandom aside, put how wrong we were about LSU, everybody was fucking wrong about them. If you put all that aside, this is the spot. That's why we took Florida last week against Georgia in the cocktail party. This is a gigantic rivalry. This is the biggest game on the schedule every single year. And this is an opportunity to show you that it wasn't your fault. It was Brian Kelly's dumbass fault, who's probably on a golf course right now putting on fucking sunscreen and still getting sunburned. Fuck Brian Kelly and fuck Joe Sloan. I think lean on the run, sure, but I do think we see more deep shots. I think you see a lot of expensive wide receivers finally get the opportunity to do something down the field. And I really do, in all seriousness, feel bad for Nussmeier because he's been scapegoated as the problem. I don't think he is. I think this was a really bad coaching performance again. And I think he's been playing hurt, and he's been putting it on the line, and he's kind of been – he trusted a dipshit to like – I just feel like he really got shafted with, like, he sat behind other starters, and Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner, obviously, but he could have transferred. He could have went elsewhere and probably had success. He could have went to Ole Miss. He could have pulled a Walker Howard, and you know what I mean? So I feel bad for Nussmeier because a lot of people, his draft stock is obviously not what it was.
I still think Nussmeier's going to play in the NFL.
I do too, but I'm just saying, like, there was, like, he could have went number one. Like, that was talks coming into the year. So that's gone.
I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity here with Oklahoma is the best defense in the SEC.
Yeah.
So
he very well
against Alabama, you get to play Arkansas. It's like there's still meaningful games left here. And if with a different play caller, he has more success, which I think he will.
You can say it was that idiot, not me.
Right.
Yeah. No. And I like that's my
because there's a lot of
too.
times like our last game against Texas A&M, for example, or any of our other games, it's like the first half against Texas A&M, LSU was having some success running the ball, especially with Harlan Berry.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, he doesn't get the ball.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We're running trickster plays where we put zero in motion and make him the running back. Like, that's going to get us some yards. And then we just run so many stupid plays with Joe Sloan that first and second down plays that lost yards. It's like with the offensive line LSU has, there's just no way to.
You're behind schedule every time.
If you're 3rd and 10 or plus, you're not picking up those third downs, and that's why LSU's gone from the top third down offense in the SEC last year to I have no clue where they're at this year.
Bad.
Not anywhere close.
You're not in third and manageable and making it life easier for Nussmeier. You're making it obvious where he's got to sit back there and fucking take a shot, get up limping, and carry on and go punt the football. So, yeah, no, I think you're going to see a bump from LSU. To wrap it up, so you're on the under, and we're going to get to your lock, Bam. You're on the under. I'm taking LSU plus 10.5. I think there's going to be a lot of sharp people out there, like I said, that are taking LSU this week because this is the spot that it calls for, and you're going to see the win in spite of Brian Kelly bump. And it's not just we're taking it again because I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to do it. but you got to do it. LSU plus 10.5. Bam, what is your lock of the week?
We're going back to the well. BYU at Texas Tech, but I'm taking Texas Tech in the first half, minus 6.5. I know.
Why do you love first half so much?
Dude, they come out hot.
They didn't last week.
Hey, it's a different week.
They had like 7 points last week. Why would you not just want the continuity of being the same? It's my lock.
I was doing a little digging. In the fourth quarter, Texas Tech's defense ranked 69th in the country.
Do you think that's because they're playing prevent?
Possibly.
Do you think that's because they've been probably up 40 every fucking week?
In the first half, Texas Tech's defense is ranked second in the nation in the first quarter, ninth in the nation in the second quarter. BYU's offense is ranked 36th in the nation in offense.
Bam.
All right, well, look, I won't explain. I won't explain, but I'm taking the first
quarter. What's the first quarter?
Yeah, go with the first half if that's what you want, but don't hit us with this is the 42nd best defense in the second quarter. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You think they're coming out with more intensity in the second quarter than the first?
That's just how it plays out. But that's just the rankings.
In all seriousness, there's probably, if the defense is great in the first quarter, they don't just what do you think, they're getting sleepy in the fourth quarter? They're up fucking 40 on these teams. They're just trying not to get hurt. They're giving up yards underneath. You're probably looking at yards given up.
No, just overall rank.
Well, where the hell are you pulling that?
You know where I'm pulling it.
I don't know. It could be fucking anywhere.
Either way, I'm taking minus 6.5.
from?
Texas Tech first half is the lock of the week.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on my lock of the week is Texas Tech minus 9.5, minus 10 for the full game. So the logic there's got to make sense for me, and that doesn't. Which they have started fast. Don't get me wrong, but just last week, goddamn it, they scored 7 points against Kansas State. They scored fucking 28 in the second half. But we'll see how it works. But yeah, don't get too caught up in that fucking. Their fourth quarter defense isn't that good. They're goddamn one of the best teams in the fucking country. I bet you Ohio State's fourth quarter defense isn't great.
I could take a look at that for you.
Nah, I'm not that worried about it. I bet it's not as good as their first quarter. All right, to recap, I'm taking Indiana minus 14.5. Tulane, Memphis under 55.5. Notre Dame minus 26.5. Louisville minus 20.5. My God, a lot of gigantic numbers we're laying. Miami minus 28.5. LSU plus 10.5. A&M minus 7. Arizona minus 4.5. And my lock of the week is the Texas Tech Red Raiders minus 10.
We're going Tulane, Memphis under 55.5. Eastern Michigan minus 1.5. Notre Dame minus 26.5. Arizona minus 4.5. Florida minus 3. LSU, Alabama under 49.5 is the lock of the week.
Okay, going Arizona minus 4.5 and Texas Tech minus 6.5 first half as the lock of the week.
All righty, there you go. That is our best bets for college football week 11. And we will do a quick recap of another profitable week in the NFL, and then we're going to give you we're going to start it off with our Thursday best bet, which has been very profitable, and then we'll give you our best bets for week 10 in the NFL. So last week, good weeks all around. I think, Bam, you went 2-2.
Yep.
But if that's the worst we did, then we're in good shape. We started it off with another winner on Thursday. Ravens minus 7.5 went on the road to take on the Dolphins. And the Dolphins were able to move the ball a little bit, and then they just did what they do best, and that was implode. So that's a dying franchise over there. That's not a team you wanted to get behind. The Ravens with getting Lamar back and still the division being very much up for grabs. Ravens did what they needed to do. They dominated the Dolphins. We win again on Thursday, now 7-2 through the first 9 weeks. Going to try to do it again. Broncos and Texans under 39.5. So C.J. Stroud got knocked the fuck out in this game. So that helped the under. It was honestly, I was a little worried about it. I had a lot going on. But it ended up being a 15-15 tie. And so at 39.5, I mean, if you get to OT, you're obviously good. Yeah, there was 19 points scored in the first half because there was something fluky. I texted you about it. I can't remember what it was, but something that they threw a fucking terrible interception, I think, that handed a field goal to the Texans right before halftime that they shouldn't have got. But only 3 points in the third quarter, and then you had 11 from Denver in the fourth quarter. If Stroud doesn't get hurt, the Texans probably win this game. So another winner there. Falcons-Patriots over 44.5. Bam and I were both on this, and I knew Bam wasn't watching the game because Drake London had an unbelievable catch on fourth down for a touchdown for the Falcons that hit the over, and it was just crickets from Bam because he was out there fucking playing slow pitch softball. I understood. He said, I sent the picture. He said, I'm warming up. Sorry. How are you warming up for slow pitch softball? For one, you running the bases just to see what they feel like?
No.
You don't touch the bases in fucking in game. Yeah, that was an incredible way to hit an over. And you got nothing. You didn't say anything. You missed it.
It was the playoffs.
Every single catch Drake London had was fucking unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, he's an incredible
He's
player.
so good. He's the best at the jump ball, the fades in the back corner of the end zone. Unbelievable. And, strong-ass hands, too, because that first one he had could have easily got knocked out. Regardless, we hit the over there. We had Vikings and Lions under 48.5. You were on the Vikings plus 8.5, which was a great call. J.J. McCarthy, Jesus Christ. This under still had a chance of hitting, and it was not a good start. You had 21 points in the first quarter. If the Vikings could have held the Lions out at the end right there and got the ball back, we would have hit this under. So, you get 21 points in the first quarter. Things become much more difficult. Packers minus 12. That was the squarest bet that we had of the week. That's the problem. We're having an incredible year. We still have one square bet a week, and that was the Packers. I don't fucking understand it with this team, to be quite honest with you, because you look at the certain statistics and all that, it's like, wow, Packers, the EPA per play and blah, 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 who gives a fuck? They dominate it. But there's something, I tweeted out, I was like, there's something seriously wrong with this Packers team, but it's so hard to pinpoint what it is. What do you think it is?
I don't really know.
Something's wrong.
They're just inconsistent. They're kind of like a better version of the Falcons.
Yeah. I think they do a good job of getting to, I got to dive into some numbers and actually see where it is, because it's third down they do good. They get a lot of yards. They do this and that, and it's what the fuck is the problem that we're losing to the Browns? We're losing to the Panthers. That you're tying with the Cowboys. I think they'll get to 3rd and 2, and then they try to catch the defense sleeping and try to hit them deep, and then they punt it. Or Jordan Love is way too nonchalant and will fade in the pocket, and then he throws off his back foot. And I don't know what the fucking problem is, because this team has all the pieces that they need, although Tucker Kraft did just tear his ACL, so that's not fucking good as somebody holding the Packers Super Bowl ticket in my pocket.
I'm going to go pee real quick.
Go ahead. And then the lock of the week was the Steelers, plus 3. Bam, you were unfortunately on the other side.
Yep.
I like how you just impulsively switched the camera. You can come back. Nick's not here. Yeah, Bam, I wasn't getting you with a gotcha. You were on your phone. I was just saying you were on the other side, but I saw that. And everybody watching right now just saw you go, yep, and impulsively change the camera to show Nick not being in his seat because he was about to piss his pants.
Dude, I was paying attention.
No, okay. I saw you. It's okay. Is that your phone in your hands?
Usually,
I thought
you were about to ask me for my recap, and I usually always go back to.
That's how disassociated you were, because we haven't even gotten a Knicks recap.
Well, he's gone.
I understand.
So I figured you would throw it over to me.
No, I was just saying. My lock was the Steelers. Your lock was, or you were on the Colts.
Yep.
That was a mistake.
I know.
You were also on the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mistake.
Those were my only 2 losses.
So if you have anything written down on your paper and you hear us give out the opposite, you might want to fucking really see how much you like that one. The Steelers forced 6 turnovers. Did I see that happening? No. I did feel like, I said it in the original breakdown, I felt like the defensive line would be able to get after Daniel Jones. One thing to consider, too, the field at Heinz Field is horrendous. It's terrible. You see it every time Boswell goes to kick. They talk about how bad the quality of the field is, and it's hard to get your footing. The Colts play on turf, and the majority of their games have been on turf indoors. So for what that's worth, that defensive line is used to running on that dog shit-ass field. So the Colts could maybe be just a little step slow. That's a real deep dive into a handicap, I guess. But it's like I said, did I think Daniel Jones was going to throw that many interceptions? No, but I did think it was possible that we would see him make some mistakes, and just to the level that we saw was egregious. But they did a good job of stopping Jonathan Taylor, which is clearly the recipe to beating this Colts team, who also has some holes on the defensive side of the ball. I felt like this team was I felt like they were fraudulent and just really haven't played anybody worth a damn yet. So we'll see how they respond from it. But that's an easy winner. That's what you're looking for a lock of the week. So 4-2 on the week brings me to 31-20, 5-4 in my locks of the week. You had 4 plays. We were both on the Ravens Thursday. You added the Steelers with me. So you had the Vikings plus 8.5. You and Bam went head-to-head for the second week in a row. Bam, how'd you feel about that? No, Bam, I'm not. If I say Bam's name, he just switches the camera. It's like, shit. You were leaving. I said, Bam. I was just saying that we were on opposites on that game. He said, yep, and switched it to show you not in your seat. Bam, it's okay. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Yeah, y'all were on opposites for the second week in a row. You got him. You got him again.
I'm trying to teach this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He'll learn.
It might take a while, but he's getting there. He's getting there. What are your thoughts? What are your takeaways from going head-to-head with Nick 2 weeks in a row? Are you praying you're not doing it a third?
Law of averages. You're done this week.
Okay, yo.
Okay.
All right, so and then your lock was Cowboys minus 2.5. Not good.
Yeah, Cowboys offensively didn't really play good. Dak, I thought, played like crap.
Probably his worst game of the year, yeah.
Because there was a couple drives down there, scoring opportunities where he just missed guys.
The big takeaway is Brissett's not that bad, and he is also now the starter. They've benched Kyler Murray. You saw that?
Which is absolutely the right decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But still, it's like this is the year of those like backups that are just kind of hanging around, or the people. We're in that era now, I think, where, and Brissett's not like in the Darnold conversation, but I think we draft these guys, and you've heard people like Gruden or Tom Brady and all that talk about the inability to develop quarterbacks these days. So I think you see these quarterbacks drafted really high, thrown right into the fire and expected to have success from day one, and then when they don't, you're like, okay, fuck, you get rid of them. Probably going to see that very soon with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence sucks, and he's been asked to be a starter from day one. He's just not that good. But you saw Darnold drafted very high out of USC. Wasn't good with the Jets. It had to go all around the fucking league. He went from, Carolina to San Francisco to Minnesota, now Seattle. Dude, Sam Darnold just put in probably the best first half of football in the history of the fucking NFL the other day. I was kicking myself. I was talking to him. I was on the fence about Seattle. I texted you. I said my leans for the contest. I gave you fucking nine plays that I liked. We would have went 8-1. So I was like, I wish I would have just bet all of these. But I've been banging the drum for Seattle all year. They beat the shit out of them. They're good, dude. And it's like you just keep waiting for Darnold to kind of do what Daniel Jones did last week and revert back to what we saw. This dude's fucking playing good. And maybe he's just in an offense that he's able to flourish in. And Jigba's a superstar. But I think we're at that point in time where, like, we see all these quarterbacks that have been written off, kind of like Baker Mayfield. Same thing. He was on the Darnold path, too, where he had to go to Carolina with Darnold and then go all the way to the West Coast with the Rams. I remember I bet him that game on a short week with the Rams, came in and fucking led a game-winning drive. So I think we expect these quarterbacks to have all this success. Jared Goff with the Rams now is with the Lions. Like, you could go down the list where in these last few years, we ask them to do too much, cast them aside, and then after they get time to develop and get used to the league, they go have success, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's kind of weird when you look just around at everything. Like, obviously you got the Mahomes and you got Josh Allen and all of that, but you have fucking Flacco still having success with Cincinnati. So I think it just goes to show, like, Brissett is somebody who's been in the league for a while. They're clearly not able to develop these quarterbacks out the gates. You know what I mean? Because Kyler Murray, I mean, he's been around for a while, but he's now getting beat out by goddamn Jacoby Brissett, who you don't have to – he'll show you don't have to be Superman. You just got to not turn the goddamn ball over and move the chains. So I don't know. I just feel like we're at a weird era for quarterback play where we're just fresh out of, like, the best era of all time for quarterback play with Drew Brees and Brady and Manning and all of Phillip Rivers and Roethlisberger, and you go down the line. There were so many good quarterbacks. Rodgers was firmly in that era.
Yeah.
And now we're just in this era where it's like ultra-talented guys that can't fucking read a defense. And, like, Trevor Lawrence will make a throw, and you're like, wow, this dude is really goddamn good or really talented. And then he's getting delay of games and throwing it past the line of scrimmage and throwing horrible interceptions into triple coverage. So I really think that they just can't – they don't know the offense. I know I'm ranting on it but I was thinking about this where it's like Drew Brees knew where every single fucking person was at all times. So if it broke down, he didn't have to, like, panic. He just knew I'm going right here. And Brady and Manning and all of them, they mastered the art of, like, reading the defense and making checks at the line of scrimmage and putting them into the perfect position to have success. And I don't think that these other guys are doing it other than, like, the very few at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even they aren't doing it to the level of those guys.
No, they're not. And that we were blessed with we took for granted. It wasn't just Saints fans with Drew Brees, though. Like, there was so many good quarterbacks at the same time. Like, all at the top of the fucking record books.
Yeah, all pure, well, with the exception of Rodgers, all of them were pure pocket passes.
Yeah.
Like, nowadays, there's just not that many pure pocket passers because of what the game's kind of evolving to, but it's kind of made quarterback play bad because a lot of these quarterbacks are just dependent on extending the play to create offense.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see it come back. It's going to it ebbs and flows and all. I think you're going to see the scales tip back the other way. But it's like Jordan Love's a perfect example. Like, he's talented and mobile and all of this, but he can't fucking move the chains when he needs to. That was the thing about Drew Brees. It was like, if a guy is there, if the throw's there to be made, he's making it. He's not throwing it off his fucking back foot or sailing one out of bounds. Jordan Love will do that once or twice every other drive. So it's just the lack of consistency. It's just head scratching. So not to rant for too long on it, but yeah, the quarterback play, they are correct. They're not fucking developing these guys the way they need to. And then that's why you've got guys like Sam Darnold, a traditional pocket passer who's now in an offense that he can flourish in, and he's playing incredible, dude. That first half against Washington was one of the best I've ever seen. So you went 3-1, another damn good week, 22-13, 5-4 in your locks of the week. Bam, you went 2-2. What is your overall record?
19-16, 5-4 locks of the week.
All righty. So we turn our attention to week 10, specifically in the form of Thursday night football. Through 9 weeks of the season, I am 7-2 betting the Thursday night game, and we are going to try to go 8-2. We own Thursday. We're the best at it. We always have been. We always will be, even if we lose this week, because this fucking week sucks. You've got the Raiders going on the road to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are 8.5-point favorites, give or take. The total sits at 42.5. Side or total?
Total.
Bam, side or total?
Total.
Interesting. Should we let Bam lead it off just to see which way he's going, throwing to the Wolves? He always goes opposite of us.
I know he's going opposite of us.
You think so?
Yeah.
Which way are you going, Bam?
I'm going the over.
Okay.
42.5.
What are your thoughts there?
I don't know.
He's scratching it out right now.
Again. You did it again, man.
He did? I was like, maybe we're not on the same page. Yeah, so like I said, Raiders going on the road to take on the Broncos. Broncos are 8.5-point favorites. The total sits at 42.5. This is a hold your nose, and Bam can take a sigh of relief. This is a hold your nose and bet the over. Geno Smith is fresh off of his best game of the year by far, And I will tell you why. It's not confusing. It's not hard to figure out. It's not, oh, man, Geno's played terrible. All of a sudden, Brock Bowers is a top 10 fucking player in this league at any position.
He's a top 10 player all the time.
All time.
This guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and he's on your fantasy team.
How many?
So I know you're happy about that.
Yeah, on all 3 of them.
Well, that's great.
I said, how the hell did I fucking smash everybody this week in all 3 leagues? And then I said, oh, that makes sense.
Because it came in the form of 13 targets for Brock Bowers, which resulted in 12 catches for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's as simple as that. They just traded Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars because they probably all got together in the boardroom and said, we don't fucking need him. We only need Brock Bowers. 13 targets, nobody else had. Michael Mayer, the other tight end, had 7. They only throw it to the tight ends. Look, it's a low number for a reason. You've got a Broncos defense that is arguably the best unit in the league. But they're expected to be without Pat Surtain again, which means Riley Moss is their number 1 corner, and he's not that. And really, in the secondary, I don't really like anybody other than Hufanga, the safety, and I'm assuming he's going to be on Brock Bowers, so that's the matchup to watch. Don't think he's going to win it because Brock Bowers, I remember in the draft, I said it's Brock Bowers or nothing. Take Brock Bowers if you can get him. This dude's incredible. He really is. And the thing was early in the year, so they had Brock Bowers in the beginning, but he was hurt playing through the injury. And then they didn't have Brock Bowers at all. So you saw the Raiders struggle, and they're not good. But Geno is coming off of his best game, and it's not a secret why. So we are going to go over 42.5. I don't love Bo Nix, and I don't think he's playing well. And I was texting with Nick about this. I don't think he's playing well. You've got a 13-11 win over the Jets. You just won 18-15 against arguably one of the best defenses in the league in Houston. The Raiders don't have that. Their defense is bad. Outside of Max Crosby, they don't have much. And Max Crosby's damn good, but they don't have much here. So with Genty, maybe he busts a long one for my fantasy team and for this over too. But I think Geno will be able to continue to feed Brock Bowers and at least get in a scoring position enough times. And then this Raiders defense is just really bad. I'm not impressed with this Broncos offense, but I don't think the Raiders have the defense to really stop them. So over 42.5.
Yep.
Is that the best number we can get? Just so we're positive. Yeah. Yeah. So again, 7-2, betting the Thursday night game. The play to make it 8-2. Raiders Broncos over 42.5. Going to try to do it again. And then we turn our attention to Sunday. How many total do you have?
I think just 3, but
3 more? Like out past Thursday or 3 total?
2 more.
Okay, gotcha. Bam, how many total do you have?
2 more.
Okay. Go with your next one.
All right. I was hoping you were going to go first, but
About to choke. What game?
Rams-Niners. Are you on this?
I did not write it down. Let me tell you the way I lean, and then I'll let you know if I'm on it. I lean the Rams.
Okay, that's which way I lean too, even though kind of thinking maybe it's gone a little bit too far out in front. Much rather a 3 here, but Mac Jones, we remember this game well, right?
Yes.
From Thursday night, just 3 or 4 weeks ago, Rams-Niners. Mac Jones had the game of his life along with Kendrick Bourne. The Rams, I thought had some pretty good success offensively there, and then some misfortune there at the end when Kyron Williams fumbled it near the goal line. I just think the Rams are superior and more consistent team so far. I think the offense seems like it's even getting better and better every week as the chemistry develops between Stafford and Devontae Adams. So they have really 2 studs at wide receiver to get the ball to, along with a great running back. So I like the Rams minus 3.5.
Yeah, that was certainly the way I lean. It was an impressive 34 points just put up against a solid Giants, at least pass rush. You saw McCaffrey, though, 28 carries. It's like, that's not sustainable. They're not going to be able to feed him like that. The problem is that he led the team in targets and receptions. Mm-hmm. So if you can stop McCaffrey, which I think, yeah, I'll take the Rams as well. I'll lay 3.5. I was strongly considering it, especially what just happened on Thursday night. That was they've been playing that bouncing back and forth between Purdy and Mac Jones, and is Purdy going to play and this and that. Bam said it best. It's a system. They just plug and play. I do think what we saw the Rams do, the Rams broke Jacksonville in London because they haven't been the same since. That was literally the nail in the coffin for Jacksonville, the 35-7 win. And then you get to play the Saints. We suck. But with the weapons and, like you said, the rapport that he's developing with Devontae Adams is going to be big, because Puka Nacua is one of the best wide receivers in the league. Yeah, I'll take 3.5 with the Rams as well. Let's see. I am going to go to the Ravens going on the road to take on the Vikings. We just saw, we were on the Ravens last week. You were on the Vikings, so you were on both of these teams. I'll ask you this. Can McCarthy do it again?
I don't know.
I don't think he can. I'm going to lay 4 points with the Baltimore Ravens. It was a very impressive showing for McCarthy against the Lions. That was a head-scratching loss for the Lions, 8.5-point favorites. You lose outright. This is a Ravens team who got healthier on the defensive side of the ball, and you saw that pay dividends against the Dolphins. Lamar Jackson, possibly more than any other quarterback in the league, plays such a vital role to the success of their offense and what defenses have to plan for, with him being able to use his legs and what it opens up for the rushing attack. And I just don't think that J.J. McCarthy's going to be able to do it again. It's like we said last week, the Ravens could very well and probably still will go and win this division. And when it looked like, wow, they were 1-5, their season's over. Now you're 3-5. Spread's telling you they're expected to go to 4-5. I'm going to lay 4 points here with Baltimore, and I got to see it again from J.J. McCarthy, who we saw surprise the Bears, who don't have a good defense, and then he looked like he didn't belong against the Falcons, who have a better defense than the Bears. That Lions defense has issues. I didn't feel like that he would be able to exploit the – that's why we were on the under. I didn't feel like he would be able to exploit the secondary. This Ravens team, dude, Kyle Hamilton, out of any coverage player, is grading out the best, number one. They just – I think defensively, with Van Noy being back healthy and all of that, I think they'll be able to get after McCarthy and put him in some tough spots. And then offensively, it's just one of those, the Ravens have got to go. You got to go now. You can't play any game. You have no room for error anymore. This was a team that we had power rated number one coming into the season. So I'll lay 4 points with Baltimore. Would you lean that way, or would you lean the other way?
I guess it's tough, but because my numbers say take Vikings, right? But I do think it's kind of a lot to ask McCarthy to perform as well as he did the week before. But then again, it's like even though the Ravens have put up 2 solid defensive performances, their past 2 games against the Dolphins and then the week before against the Bears, I don't know. I wonder. It's like you almost want to just see it one more time to make sure. But then again, it's like it's not like you're facing a veteran quarterback or anything. So mistakes could be taken advantage of here.
That's how I feel about with McCarthy. I just want to see it one more time. If that you were referring to the Ravens defense.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I feel with McCarthy, because when you look at it, I mean, they had 258 yards of offense. It's not like it was really the defense was able to get after Goff, but we've seen that. Look, I said to start this season that I felt like we could see the Lions regress a little bit. I said that still is 10 wins, or I said that for the Chiefs, but it equated for the Lions too. When you lose those guys on the offensive line, you see things not look as smooth. And when you put Goff in obvious passing situations, which is what we saw against, who was it? We saw It was Kansas City. They lost 37-20. They looked like they didn't even belong. And it was because Goff was making those mistakes because they couldn't get ahead of the chains. And I think that this Lions offense is not as sharp as it was with Ben Johnson. And really, it's not just because of Ben Johnson. It's because of those issues on the offensive line and losing 2 top 10 players at their respective positions. So, yeah, I think that the Ravens getting Van Noy back is huge. They got the rookie off the edge, 45. That was why they were okay with losing Oweh, which is crazy when you think about, because he's going and producing for the Chargers. It's like if you're the Ravens and you still think that you have a chance to go win something, why are you letting Oweh go out the door? I think they have guys that they like that can still get after the passer. So, yeah, I got to see it again from J.J. McCarthy. So I'm going to lay 4 points with the Ravens. Bam, what is your one before you lock?
Going Monday night, Eagles at Packers. I'm going to take the Eagles plus 2.5 here.
That's interesting because I have the Packers. Why do you like the Eagles? I think it's clear why.
What?
The Packers look like shit.
Yeah, also just don't think the Eagles are getting the credit they deserve. They're a really good football team. And, you know, if they catch Green Bay on an inconsistent night, then it should be a for sure win.
Whatever the fuck that means. I do think other people will be on the Eagles, so I don't think you're crazy for taking the Eagles. I think that rationale was crazy. Define catching them on an inconsistent night. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, look, I am going to take the Packers. I have the Pack, and just so you know, I'll show you my sheet. It's already written down. I ain't writing anything down. I didn't hear Bam say Eagles, so I go, I'm taking the Packers. There's a Packers hat over there. I bought a Packers hat. I'm all in on this Packers team, and they keep fucking bending me over. The Packers can't beat the bad teams. They beat the good teams. I think we're going to see that again. I think you're going to get – and look, I might have to hop off the damn wagon if they get killed by this Eagles team. And this is an Eagles team that's rested, coming off the bye, and they've been making moves. They went out and got Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. I think that's a good move. I think he's good. He's had the injuries that he's battled, but that's a good move. I think they made another move, too, that I'm blanking on. They went – they're going to kick the tie. They're going to play the Jair Alexander game. Good luck. He's the biggest head case in the league. But – it's one of those, how are the Packers going to respond? Because when you look at it, man, you got the tie with Dallas. You got a 27-18 win over the Bengals. Then you got a 4-point win on the road against Arizona. You got a 10-point win against Pittsburgh where they covered, but it took a heroic second half where they were sleepwalking in the first half. And then you lose to the Panthers. And this is after you lost to the Browns. Statistically, this Packers team is one of the best, if not the best, in the league. If you want to look at certain numbers, you could paint a picture that this Packers team is the best. And that's a picture I've painted in my fucking head. And then they come out and it's not there. And you just lost Tucker Kraft to IR, ACL injury. But I haven't forgotten how fucking bad that Eagles offense looked. I haven't forgotten. You stop Saquon Barkley, you make this idiot sit back. You pressure Jalen Hurts. Guess what? Get ready to fucking learn Micah Parsons. This is the game that they're going to tee off. Packers are going to go. We're playing this game where we're like, maybe the Packers suck. And then we're like, oh, they beat the shit out of a good team. They're good. I think we're going to play that game again. I'm laying 2.5 points with the Packers at home. Which way would you go? Because we're on opposites there.
I don't really have an opinion there.
None?
I guess if it was Packers in a pick, I might take the Packers, but I don't know. Not getting a 2.5.
We'll see how it shakes out. All I have left is my lock. How many more? Just your lock?
Yeah.
Same for you, Bam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. No such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, my lock of the week in the NFL is going to be the Detroit Lions -8.5, going on the road to take on the Washington Commanders, who just unfortunately watched their season go the wrong way, like Jaden Daniels' elbow. Why he was still in that game, I don't know. Shouldn't have been. They were getting killed. It's very unfortunate and sad to see. A season that has just been not what the Commanders expected with the injuries that for Daniels been battling all year. It was tough to see. It is what it is. I'm laying 8.5 points with the Lions because not just did they lose Jaden Daniels, they also lost Marshawn Lattimore, who tore his ACL. And that's a very bad secondary already. And you lose probably your best cover guy, even though he's fallen off a cliff. He's out for the year. You've got Laramie Tunsil battling injuries at the left tackle position. Terry McLaurin's hurt his leg again and probably isn't going to play. He missed last week. This team's decimated from injuries. Now you got to go back to Marcus Mariota. I feel like when you go to the backups, you can maybe get him one game here or there. But when you got to turn to him for basically the full season, it just doesn't seem to work. I'm going to lay 8.5 points with the Lions, who after just losing to the Vikings, I'm going to expect is going to come out and lay a big number against a bad defense that's not really able to get after the passer all that well. I don't think they'll be able to bother Goff and put him in tough positions. And then offensively, I don't expect much from the Commanders. So I will lay 8.5 points with the Lions as my lock of the week. Which way are you going?
We're going to the games in Germany, right?
Oh, shit. You're going to the Berlin game with the Falcons and the whatever the fuck?
Falcons, Colts. Colts, 6.5-point favorites. I think it's getting out of hand here. So we're going to just say we think it's too many points. We're going to take the Falcons plus 6.5. I understand it's not a great matchup for the Falcons. Jonathan Taylor going up against the Falcons' 23rd ranked rush defense, and Bijan having to go up against the Colts' 4th ranked rush defense. But I still think the Falcons can find some success offensively here. I think they're that good. The Colts, despite being really good against the run, have the 29th ranked third down defense in the NFL. Last thing, Daniel Jones was bothered by the pass rush of the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. It resulted in, I think, 5 sacks and 3 interceptions. You kind of look at the way the Falcons played the Patriots, right? Drake May, bothered by the Falcons' pass rush, right? Resulted in 6 sacks and 2 turnovers. One that was nearly returned for a touchdown if Pierce wasn't celebrating before while he was getting tackled like an idiot. But yeah, I think 6.5. It just seemed to me I'm getting nowhere close to this number. So it's took some money today. It was 5.5. I think it's good for me. Falcons plus 6.5.
Yeah, so I'll show you my sheet. I had the Falcons written down, scratched them out. For kind of what you just said, like you kind of painted the picture on the worry there. We're both equally as high on the Falcons. We both think, and because when you see what they're capable of doing on the offensive side, like at their peak, they're up there with anybody in the league. The problem is the lack of consistency, and then if you bottle up Bijan, it becomes a lot more difficult. I was impressed defensively with what they did against the Patriots last week. And Drake May, you talked about it pressuring him. Walker from Georgia was looking pretty damn good. And then Pierce was the other first-round guy that they took. The issue for me is they're fucking bad on third down. And they have been all year.
Yeah.
They have been all year. They were 1 for 10 on third down against the Patriots. But they were an extra point away from tying that game and basically forcing overtime. Parker Romo missed the extra point. I'm not going to add it, but I'm just going to go with my gut with the scratch off. But we're both thinking the same there. Like I said, I think it jumped a point. It had to be because they went and got Sauce Gardner.
I guess
It happened right after because I was keeping tabs on it. That news broke. It jumped the point right away.
But I was still nowhere close to 5. It's
no,
like,
I wasn't either. Let me see where my number was. I wasn't. Where the hell is it? Take that back. I had the Colts by 4.8. But I still, I still would lean. I would lean the Falcons. So, Bam, what is your lock of the week?
Going to the Cardinals at Seahawks. I'm taking the over 45.5.
Interesting play. I was looking at that. I was considering the Seahawks as well again. What are your thoughts there? Anything?
Yeah, I would take Seahawks.
Is that a spiteful play because of the Cardinals from last week?
I think they're good. I don't think they're that good, though. I still question if they're better than the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys couldn't have played worse than they did.
Yeah.
Because you look at the first drive, man, they marching down the field, and they get to the goal line. They can't get it in. They go for it on fourth, right, and fail.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up holding Arizona to the field goal. Then there was another play. It was a second down play, and they sacked Brissett at the 50-yard line. Then they allowed Arizona to pick up like a 3rd and 16, and I was like, okay, if it's going to be like this.
Yeah.
But just Cowboys offense, I mean, that was what we were banking on, that they would be able to go tat for tat or outdo the Cardinals a little bit, but they just weren't able to score. They scored one offensive touchdown.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. Okay, so to recap, I'll stay off that one. I would consider the Seahawks. I would lean the over in that one as well, like Bam just mentioned. To recap, Thursday night, we're going to go Raiders and Broncos over 42.5. I'm going to take the Rams minus 3.5, the Ravens minus 4, the Packers on Monday Night Football minus 2.5, and my lock of the week, the Detroit Lions minus 8.5.
We're going Raiders, Broncos over 42.5. The lock is going to be the Falcons plus 6.5. And then we're taking the Rams minus 3.5.
Bam.
We're going Raiders, Broncos over 42.5. Eagles plus 2.5 Monday Night Football. And then for the lock of the week, the Cardinals, Seahawks over 45.5.
Alrighty, there you go. That is our best bets for NFL Week 10. We already gave you college football Week 11. Episode 240 is in the books. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
Bam?
Nope.
Alrighty. Hit the like and subscribe button. Again, like I said, a lot of people did last week. We really appreciate that. It helps us out big time. We ran a little long tonight, nearly approaching 2 hours, but timestamps will be in the description as always. We appreciate everybody for listening. Let's try to keep it going in the NFL and make some money. Good luck.
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.